the premier bit.
When you fall in love, I move on to the next again. There you go again with that flow, that retirement. When I'm finished, you can go say game over.
This is still outside.
Yeah, I'm toxic and I rock it. This is shout out to the girls who say I'm not shit. I'm obnoxious and I'm hard this. When you sip and catch your feelings, then that is my cue to dip. They've been calling me a dick, and you know that I'm certified. Just say I'm inconsiderate, I be like, where's the lie? If you wild a coyote, I'm road runner when I slide. Like a fox, I be a thief, I'm a heartbreaker, 109. From a while, they tell me die down, I'm good how. She did it, she hit me, but she come up for the wood stroke. Told me I could pull up, I told her maybe I could go, then leave her undelivered. Dip out of the neighborhood.
For some reason, they don't know what it sounds like.
She get too addicted about her money, sell payroll. Wait though, I prefer to lay low. Chillin' in the back to make it free. Bitch, I'm Roger that I rent. Whoa. She fell in love once again. Once I hit him, repeated, I'm moving on to her friends. I be leaving them.
Alright guys, just making a quick little video just to basically talk about how you should probably switch up your playstyle for playing Solans after the nerfs. Not a ton has changed, it's just you're just basically more punishable and you need to be just a little bit smarter with how you play. Some of the biggest things that happen are essentially that you will no longer have free ice charges, so you need to be a bit more tactical with the way you use those. Your damage is pretty nerfed. I mean, it's a pretty significant amount, but it's still pretty good. Spider Cloak is basically a must now, because you're not nearly fast enough with Hyper Body Errant Armor anymore. You're just basically just you're really tanky. You're just super slow, and it's just not it's just not an ideal way to play. But most importantly, you can't really walk forward at everybody like a moving fortress anymore. You kind of need to be patient and play off their mistakes. So just gonna go ahead and get into it and just basically talk about some of the stuff that you should be implementing. All right, I'm going to show you guys what I consider to be the 3 most important combos on Solans, and then a little bit of extra tips at the end. So I'll show the combos, and then I'll explain how to actually do the combos after I've shown you all 3 of them. Alright, so for the first combo, this is your bread and butter, you're going to be hitting 4 times, and as the 4th M1 hits, you're going to step back, hold the S key. And essentially what you're doing this for is so that your 5th M1 will hit, giving you enough time to lightning charge into another M1 combo, alright? And then now you're going to do the same thing, except instead of walking backwards and finishing this combo with a lightning charge, you're just going to finish it with a flame charge. So again, just as soon as the 4th M1 lands, you're going to switch to flame charge, and then you're going to flame charge blow, and then that's going to allow you to hit them with pretty much everything in that combo. This is your bread and butter. It is the fundamental to sigil. Okay, so after you learn how to do the basic sigil combo, you're going to want to learn punch technique. This is what's going to allow you to do your double action surges. So essentially the tech works similarly to what we were doing earlier. You're going to do the 4 M1s, but instead of walking backwards, you're just going to turn your camera to the right or left, whichever is more comfortable, and with your 6 M1. And then after your 6 M1, you're going to punch with your fist, swap back to your sword, and then loop this. What's important to keep in mind is after the first loop, it's going to be 1 less M1 on your chain. So instead of 4 M1s, it's going to be 3. Alright, so the next combo is the lightning charge into double action surge. Alright, so I'm going to slow this one way down because there's a lot going on. Alright, in a very short amount of time. This is essentially your burst combo. So you'll start this combo with a lightning charge. Once the lightning charge hits, you will immediately go into your action surge. Alright, and then you're essentially going to do what we've done before. It's set much faster, okay? So you're going to do the 4 M1s with the last one, punch after the 6th misses, okay? And then go back into 4 M1s and flame charge blow on the 4th M1. Now, what's important about this combo, and that a lot of people mess up, is for that second action surge, you actually need to delay your punch before you go into it. Just delay your punch. It's a little bit longer than you actually imagine you need to. Like a lot of people think you just got to get this thing out as fast as possible. There's a delay. If you don't adhere to this delay, you'll get stunned by your own M1 end lag from your first combo. So just keep that in mind. And your final one is your lightning charge extend into double action surge and then a ragdoll camp, right? So again, I'm going to slow this combo way down because there is a lot going on, and there's also some tips I want to get into at the end of it to sort of help you ragdoll camp on Solans. All right, so this is going to work much like our first combo at the start. It's going to be your 4 M1s, all right? Into the step back after the 4th M1 hits. Lightning charge. Immediately go into your action surge. Remember to delay this punch. Okay, this one right here. Delay that punch. Otherwise, you'll get stunned. And then as your 4th M1 hits, you're going to go into a flame charge. It's important the flame charge hits. All right? Now you're going to hold space. After you do this, your character will jump. After the second jump, where you would jump the third time, instead of jumping, do an M1 plus an ice charge. You will basically stack an M1 in your ice charge, and that is how you can perfectly time an ice charge on wake up after a flame charge, specifically after a flame charge. So all in all, I think Solans is still considerably viable. I mean, I would argue it's still pretty much in the top 5, maybe top 6 classes in the game, and it's interchangeable in that list. It's good against some of the stuff in that matchup. It's bad against some of that stuff in that matchup. Whatever. Um, if anything, the class is just a bit more tedious to play. It just requires a bit more patience, way more patience than you need on classes like Druid or classes like Shinobi. But uh, at the end of the day, classes should play different. Um, hopefully, other classes in the game get the same balanced treatment that Solans did. I mean, it just got really touched this update in a way that like most classes haven't been touched. But I think the good news is that it's mostly overcomable. You can just like you can play around these nerfs and just switch up your playstyle and go for consistent combos and like have a more consistent playstyle and you will be chilling. I mean, not much will change in your gameplay if you're a good player. If you're a bad player, you got some learning to do. Um, yeah, past that, I still think Solans is in a good spot. If it gets nerfed anymore, it'll probably be a bad class, but I think where it's at right now is just completely fine. Things to keep in mind is that Solans still has infinite hyperbody with Verdo, so that's not an issue. Also, now more than ever, make sure you run Spider Cloak. Other than that, just keep having a good time, make people rage with your combos and whatnot. Continue to play Solans. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.